Hey everyone, it's Derek with OPTP, and for our Summer of Savings, this week is Runner's Week. So today, we're gonna focus on some exercises for foot and ankle stability and mobility. We're gonna go through a couple of release techniques and also a couple of wonderful mobility/strength exercises. Let's get started. Okay, so today we have two different release techniques and two different stability/mobility exercises for that foot-ankle region. We also have a number of products that we're going to be using today during these exercises. We're going to start with a plantar fascia release technique using our Pro Pod. So here I have two Pro Pods. I only have one placed out in front of my body because that's all I need here. Now the Pro Pods are wonderful for a number of reasons. Their size allows us to gently release lots of regions of the body, especially areas that we might not be able to get to with a foam roller. In addition, the texture and density is a little softer than maybe your standard or firm foam roller. So it's a little bit more of a gentle release. It's perfect for areas like the bottoms of the feet, which is where we're gonna visit now. So plantar fascia release technique, we just wanna position the Pro Pod perpendicular out in front of the body. And then I'm gonna begin just placing the middle of one foot over the Pro Pod and just gently sort of mashing the foot into it repetitively, maybe about 10 times. This is just gonna help mobilize the fascia, loosen up that connective tissue along the bottom of the foot. After I've mashed about 10 times, I'm just gonna hold it there. Now, it's really important that you start gently here, especially if you do suffer from plantar fasciitis. If you do suffer from plantar fasciitis, also you might wanna check with your licensed physical therapist or doctor before you try this. All right, but starting gently either way. And then once we visit the middle of the foot, you can then either move up or down the foot depending on where you feel you need it most, and we're gonna do the same thing. Now I've got the Pro Pod kind of underneath the balls of my toes, and I'm gonna mash a couple of times, really mobilize that fascia and connective tissue, and then I'm gonna hold for 20 to 30 seconds again. And we would repeat this process until we covered the entire bottom of the foot, and then of course we would switch sides. So this might take you 60 to 90 seconds per side, and then we can move on to release technique number 2. Okay, so for release technique number 2, we're gonna focus on the calves. Now, obviously the calves take a lot of abuse when we're running, especially those of us who are putting in lots of miles every day. So when we have tightness and discomfort in the calves, that can obviously impact the knee joint, the hips, even further up the kinetic chain, and also obviously down into the ankles and feet. So we're gonna be using the Pro Point here. This is another wonderful tool to help release segments of the body where we might not be able to reach with larger release tools. So I'm positioned here just in a way where whatever side of the body I'm focusing on, the calf is relaxed, right? So I'm positioned here. You can also do this sitting in a chair with the foot planted, but I'm gonna take the Pro Point here, which has this wonderful pointed end, and I'm gonna take one hand and position it on the front of the leg here, and then I'm gonna take the Pro Point and find that spot within the belly of the muscle where I'm experiencing some tension and tightness, or I should say muscles here, right? Depending on which of the calf muscles you're on. And then we're just gonna apply some pressure. This is another one where you're gonna wanna start very easy. You wanna hold it for about 30 seconds. This is another one where you can even apply a little gentle massage here, moving in clockwise or counterclockwise directions with a Pro Point. And then of course, after we've done that and held it and maybe given that massage, we can then move up or down the leg, depending on where we're experiencing that tension and tightness. Just don't get too close to the ankle joint and too close to the knee joint. That's important as we approach those tendons. We don't wanna apply too much pressure there as well. So try to stay within that muscle tissue. And again, focusing on those areas that are most tight for you. Again, you probably spend maybe 90 to 120 seconds here, so a minute and a half to 2 minutes on each side of the body, and then we'll start to visit those mobility and stability exercises. Okay, so now that we've gone through a couple of release techniques, now we're gonna visit a couple of stability/mobility exercises for that foot-ankle complex. I've got my Pro Balance Pad XL here, which is what I'm gonna be using for both of these exercises. And we're gonna be starting with a single leg calf raise into a stretch. So the Pro Balance Pad XL here is really gonna be of benefit because of its size, more surface area. I've got more room to train for balance and stability. So wonderful choice here for these exercises. I'm gonna begin behind the Pro Balance Pad XL, behind one of the short sides here, heel into the earth, the rest of the foot positioned up on the Pro Balance Pad XL. A lot of us have probably done calf raises before. We're gonna drive up onto the balls of the toes here, really brief hold, then we're gonna plant the opposite foot forward and drive this back heel down for the stretch portion. So it looks like this. We're gonna raise up, little hip flexion at the top, plant the foot, now that back heel goes down. We're gonna hold it here for about 3 seconds. This is where we're creating length across the back of the lower limb there, okay? And then we're gonna reset and repeat. So we contract and then lengthen. So drive it up, a lot of stability and kind of proprioception required here. Drive it down, heel down, create length across the back of the leg. One more time. You're gonna wanna do this 8 to 10 times on each side. Big lift up, a little bit of hip flexion here. Step forward, plant that foot, heel goes down, create that length, hold for about 3 seconds. Wonderful exercise. Okay, our final movement is gonna be a big mobility complex. Now this isn't only gonna be a benefit to the foot ankle region of the body, but pretty much everything. And this is great for runners, not only for mobility, but also for some strength. So I'm gonna be on the Pro Balance Pad XL here, obviously. I'm gonna start on a single leg with a little bit of hip flexion here. And from this position, I'm going to start with my chest up and I'm gonna hip hinge forward as I flex that knee and move into a single leg deadlift. Now, if you can get those fingertips all the way to the Pro Balance Pad, that's great. If not, do what you can maintaining that neutral spine. So first portion of the exercise is a single leg deadlift. Now we're going to move up into hip flexion and we're gonna circle this hip, open it up and around as best as we can, maintaining those hips square to the original direction we were facing. Bring it down, back down to our start position, and then we're gonna hip hinge forward into a hip extension. Again, trying to get those fingertips down to the Pro Balance Pad if we can. If not, don't worry about it. Come back up, and that would be 1 repetition. So we would want that to flow now for about 60 to 90 seconds on each side. So start from the top again, chest up, nice neutral spine, hip hinge forward, touch. Come up, we swing that hip up and around, really trying to maintain square hips as best we can, and then we finish up with that hip extension. Nice neutral spine, good balance, good body awareness, strong ankles, strong feet, strong knees, strong hips. Great exercise, definitely give that one a try. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you want to learn more about the Pro Pods, Pro Point, or Pro Balance Pad XL, just go to optp.com. While you're there, be sure to check out all the great content and sales that we have going on right now as part of our Summer of Savings. Thanks.